Okay guys, so today it's day 3 of our Christmas recipe challenge. This seems starting to seem like a regular thing now. So today we're making a Christmas bacon mince pie, but obviously it's a savory one, it's not a sweet one. So I've got my tin here, my loaf tin, which is what we're going to do it in. You could also do it in a frying pan, but it needs to be a deep one so that you have enough depth for the meat to stack. So here I've got some beef mince, I've got bacon, I've got my special spice rub that I make myself, and then I've got some cheese. Here I've got 2 cups of cheese, and it's a mix of mozzarella and mature cheddar. I'm going to have a pinch of cinnamon, obviously, because it's a Christmas one. If you don't like the cinnamon, you don't have to. It would just be a pinch just to give it an extra flavor. And then I'm going to add my adobo seasoning, and this is the hot pepper one. It's not that hot actually, so I have added some chili flakes in here. So here I'll give you an idea of what I have. Everything in here is a 1/4 teaspoon. That's what makes it up. So I've got a 1/4 teaspoon parsley, 1/4 teaspoon thyme, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes, and a pinch of salt. I don't want to use too much salt because I've obviously got the bacon, which is quite salty. So these are all the ingredients, and remember, all the ingredients will be listed on the blog, and the blog would be linked below. So I'm gonna get all this open and get it ready, and I'll show you how to start. Okay, so I have my mince in a bowl now. I've opened up my mince in a bowl. I have my bacon open, and what I am going to do next, I'm just going to set the bacon aside, and what I'll do next is I'm going to use my hands and give my mince a rub. Now I'm only going to use about 2/3 of it, and then mix that in, and then see if that's all coated properly. So I'll do that now with my hands. You don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. So I've taken off all my jewelry, so I'm just going to mix this really well inside using my hands and making sure it's all combined. And then if I need a bit more, I feel like I will need a bit more, so I'm just going to put in the remaining 1/3 of the rub there. Okay, so I have finished putting in all of my herbs and spices for the mince, and it's looking quite good. It's not you know, saturated and coated, but every now and again you'd come across, you know, herbs in there. So I think that's just about right. That's about what I need. So now I'm going to put in my pinch of cinnamon, and I'm going to put in a little sprinkle of my spicy adobo seasoning. So I'm just going to put those 2 in now. Okay, so now that that's done, I have my pan here to start the layering. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer the bacon slices into the pan, and you need to make sure that they overlap. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I get that started. So I'm taking a bit of that. I'll alternate it with the bottom and then the top, just like that, because I want it to so as you can see, I'm making sure I'm overlapping it so that there's no gaps. So I'm making sure to overlap and make sure that there are no gaps. So I'm just going to do that all the way around the pan. So since I've got the bigger part on there, I'm just going to put the bottom part here, making sure to press it in. You don't need to grease your pan for this stage, because obviously the bacon has got enough fat and grease to make sure it doesn't stick. So that's looking good. So I'm just going to do that all the way around the pan now, and I'll be back. Okay, so that's the pan all covered now. From 2 packs of bacon, I only have 2 slices left. Is that 2 or 3? Yeah, so this is a thick cut, but I only have 2 slices left. That's 1 slice, 1 pack finished. So I've got 2 slices left. I'm thinking I could use that on the top if it's got any gaps. So I'll just keep that. And the next thing to do now is to start layering the mince in. So I'm going to start doing that now. I'll show you exactly what we need to do. So now that I've got everything in just now, I'm just going to take a bit of my mince and just layer that in, making sure not to make it too thick because we want this in layers. We don't want it too thick. If not, you get a whole bunch where there's lots of mince and you don't get anything else for your next layer. So I'm just making sure to spread that out, making sure that there are no gaps for my mince, making sure the bottom layer is all covered. And this is such a good Christmas meal for those of us who want a change from turkey, or you want it as an added meal for yourself whilst everyone else would be having turkey, roast potatoes and all of that. You can have a cool Christmas invention. Okay, so that's all in, and I've kind of smushed that in, pressed that down to make sure it's looking good. Next, it's going to be a layer of cheese. So I've mixed my cheese in. So I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top, and be generous with your cheese because obviously this is a part of the source of the fat, including the bacon. So I'll say that's a good layer. Next, we'll go back in with some more mince. Again, repeating the steps, layering that on, making sure it's not clumpy. Okay, that looks perfect in terms of the portions for the mince. Remember, all the measurements, the portions, the sizes of everything would be listed, the full list of ingredients and the measurements would be listed on the blog later tonight. So I've got a bit of mince there, make sure it's all covered. Okay, so that looks about good. And then another layer of cheese at the top. Let's see, come on, is it going to fit? I think it will. Oh, this is such perfect measurements. Okay, so that's all my cheese done. How good is that? Got some cheese left here, so I'm just gonna make sure it's all covered. Okay, so that's our pan done, covered. So what we're going to do now is take all the bits of bacon hanging over the side, just tuck them over, and your aim is to cover the pan just like that. Tuck them in to make sure it's all covered. It looks perfect, so I don't think we're going to need the extra bit of bacon. You know, the spare bacon pieces. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that there. So I don't need those bits anymore, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. And as I was making this and getting all of this ready, I was preheating the oven. So I've put that to gas mark. I was preheating it on gas mark 4, so same 350 degrees or 180. But I'm going to turn it up now to number 5 because I want this to cook with the bacon so thick and then probably later on I'll turn it back down to gas mark 4. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven and check it after 20 minutes. Okay, so that goes in the oven. How good does it look? Yay! Okay ladies, it's a bit dark, but it's been 20 minutes, and as you can see, it's got a fair bit of liquid, and this is all fine. This is all fine. This is expected. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain this off the pan and put it back in the oven. Okay, so once you get to 20 minutes, you probably need to do this yourself as well. So do that and then pop it back in and show you. Okay, so that's the liquid all drained, and it's going back in the oven to finish cooking. I'm going to set the timer for another say 15 minutes. Let's see. Oh, I can't do that with the hand. Okay, let's see. 15 minutes, and then we'll have another check back. It should be close to being done for 15 minutes, so I would come back and let you guys know how it looks. Okay, so after the initial 20 minutes, I have now cooked it again in the oven for another half an hour, so 30 minutes, and look at how beautiful it looks. There's absolutely no liquid. This is just all the oils just sizzling away in the pan there. So I'm just going to get it out of the oven now and show you what it looks like. Okay, so that is it out of the oven. How nice does that look? I've made a spicy relish or like a spicy salsa to go with this. This is stewed, really cooked down red peppers, some parsley, chili flakes, and 1 cherry tomato. So just 1 cherry tomato, red pepper, parsley, chili flakes, and then obviously seasoned with salt and pepper. That is just so beautiful. I'm going to give you a good look all around so that you see what it looks like, and just cutting into that would be so nice, I'm sure. Right, so that's it finished, and now you see some pictures at the end. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.